Sports on Tap is brought to you by Go To Pro Plumbing, Land & Sea Motorsports, On the Bay Customs Boutique and Cafe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I don't know what we're yelling about!
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Loud noises!
Not a game.
This is the first time in my life I'm glad I'm deaf.
We talking about practice, man.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
65.
63. Knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With music and straws dropping, they getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, and you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and rock with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go when all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. If we take a fucking tight end, I quit. You can't let that shit happen. You can't.
Well, good to know Frank's not quitting because they did not take a tight end.
I don't have to quit. I was so happy about that.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports on Tap. I am Chris Scott, alongside the aforementioned Frank Giagata and Joe Waddell. Gentlemen.
Hello.
Look at you using
How's it going?
10-point words.
The aforementioned. Look at you.
I is smart.
SMRT smart.
SMRT smart. Yeah. We're gonna dip into the NFL draft here, recap it a little bit here shortly. But first, we want to get into our picks. So if you guys want to make your bets before the game start, we should probably head and do that now. I think.
Yeah. I think let's get into it.
Time. Yep.
If you've had plumbing problems, you're definitely not alone. The next time you have an issue, there's only one place to call. Go To Pro Plumbing. They're a local family-owned company with 15 years of experience. Based in Centerline, they serve the Metro Detroit area, keeping your pipes clean and flowing with fair prices and happy customers. They're open 7 days a week for all your plumbing needs. The knowledgeable and experienced staff will keep you informed of their progress every step of the way to make your experience as smooth as possible. Call Go To Pro Plumbing today at 586-250-2881. That's 586-250-2881. Go To Pro Plumbing. When your pipes won't flow, call the pro.
It's time.
Yes, time for the picks.
Time for the picks.
Who wants to go first?
Frank, you look like you want to go.
Okay. Well, about the only thing I got right now is I highly recommend you don't take the Colorado Rockies.
No. I mean, you want... What's the over-under at right now?
Right now, the over-under's at 14.
Yeah, you might want to take the over.
Nope, they've just locked all of it.
Oh, yeah, they figured they would.
It's got locked. But they were giving you the Giants, giving up 9.5 at a plus 126. I highly thought about taking it.
I would take the Rockies in that one, honestly. I would.
With the 9.5 runs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because they're gonna cut into that lead.
I was going to say, it's the fourth inning now. It's still 10-0. But
it's Coors Field. It's they're
gonna cut into that lead.
We're back. We're back. They're giving you 8.5 now.
Oh, is that right?
Over under set at 14.5.
I would still take the over on that.
But I'm gonna start real simply with tonight. You've got the Red Sox and Tigers. Mm-hmm. If you have a brain, take the Red Sox.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. Yes.
I'm actually gonna take it from here on this one. I'm gonna one up that one just a little bit because I was already looking at that. I'm gonna take the Red Sox minus 1.5 runs in that game. I think the last 7 games the Tigers have lost by 2 or more runs. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take Boston giving up 1.5 runs in that game and feel pretty fucking comfortable about it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet on
I might even take Boston giving up the 9.5 right now.
I mean,
San Francisco's giving up.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. I think you'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lead away a little bit from Major League Baseball. Actually, a lot away. I'm going Champions League soccer tomorrow.
Ooh, we're going over the pond.
We are going over the pond. Champions League semifinal, second leg, Chelsea, Real Madrid. Give me Chelsea plus 115 to win, and that will move them on to the Champions League final, where they will play Manchester City, who beat PSG today.
Very nice. Like it. Franklin.
You know what? We're going with Did you just make yourself laugh by calling me Franklin?
I did. I did. I don't know why.
I like it. I think it's great.
I didn't even mean to call you Franklin. It just came out, and then I made myself laugh because I called you Franklin.
We're going to go to the 10-10 hockey game tonight. We've got Edmonton and Vancouver. I actually do kind of like Edmonton in this game. McDavid's been coming on a little bit more lately. They're giving up a goal and a half. The Oilers are getting a goal and a half. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Oilers tonight.
Nice. Very nice. I'm going to go with the Padres tonight, giving up a run and a half, going against Pittsburgh. The last 5 games, Pittsburgh has lost by more than 2 runs, by 2 or more runs. And I don't think that streak ends tonight. I believe the Padres put it on them and win by at least 2 runs. Give up a run and a half and feel comfortable.
I'm going to the NBA. Charlotte and the Charlotte Hornets and Detroit Pistons tonight. I'm taking Charlotte laying the 4. Laying the 4. No, they're getting 4. Sorry.
No, Charlotte's giving up 4.
Charlotte's giving up 4?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I'll take the Hornets giving up 4.
And I'm actually seeing right now that, unfortunately, the Rockies have to play the Giants again tonight at 9 o'clock.
Seriously?
It is a doubleheader.
At least it's only... now I didn't know it was a doubleheader. That kind of changes things.
Yeah, because it's only 7 innings.
Right.
Yep.
Which is still fucking stupid, but...
Yeah.
But right now, for the 8:40 game for San Francisco and Colorado, Rockies are only getting a run and a half. So if you want some easy money, I'd say the ass-whooping probably continues. Take the Giants.
Nice. I like that. My last one tonight is going to be a basketball pick, and I'm gonna actually give you a parlay here. If you want to bet on both separate, go right ahead. Feel free. I'm going to give you the Nets and the Warriors tonight to win in both of those games. If you want to be safer and bet them separate, go right ahead. But I feel like putting a parlay together with those two coming out on top is a plus bet.
My last bet is also a parlay. It's the New York Yankees facing the Houston Astros, which that place should be absolutely rocking tonight because you know what happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, right.
What story did I miss? Oh, they cheated.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they cheated.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole cheating thing.
The Yankees are laying a run and a half, and that's going off at plus 150, and I'm actually going to take the over 8.5 in that as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that. All right. That does it for the picks. There you go. Bet wisely, folks. Bet wisely.
Yes, bet wisely what you just said.
bet Wiley.
Bet Wiley. I mean, you should bet Wiley, though, if you think about it. That's, you know.
No, always take Roadrunner.
Fair enough.
Always take Roadrunner.
Yeah. Wiley eke out, he never won.
Fair enough. Yeah, let's get to the NFL draft that happened this past weekend. One awkward thing I want to say about it is just we were talking about it before the show and how they had like fans on the stage as you know the commissioner would walk up to make the pick. I found it to be honestly I found it to be kind of awkward because it seemed like these people had no idea what to do, like whether to sit there or stand or walk with the guy or what or talk to him or shake his hand.
Like it was a kind of spur of the moment type of thing they did.
Maybe they added it that day or something.
It didn't feel like it was thought out.
Right.
It was very weird.
It was weird. It was incredibly weird. But,
well, this is awkward.
Right.
It was like every time he would walk up to whoever was sitting in the chair, it was like nobody knew what to do. Not even him. Not even Goodell.
They would like halfway get up, halfway stay.
Yeah,
sitting,
it was weird.
Start to extend hands, pull back.
Okay.
and at one point, some people walked up to the podium with him. Some people just sat back down in the chair.
Like, okay.
And he fist bumped some people, then shook some people's hands, and then just kind of like put his hands away and didn't want to do anything. And other people was like, it was just really weird. It was strange.
It was incredibly weird, and not to mention just you might get mad at this, but aren't all these people that were up on stage and weren't they vaccinated?
Yeah.
so they couldn't like hug or anything like that, but they were still wearing
Well,
masks.
what-
Why are they still wearing? If you're vaccinated, why are you wearing masks?
My understanding
I don't
was
get it.
everybody on the floor was supposed to be vaccinated.
Right. So why?
yeah,
why,
if
why are you wearing
everybody
masks?
there's good, then
I don't get it.
Theoretically, it should be fine.
Whatever. That's
Visuals.
yeah. I guess.
It's
I
about-
guess
it's about visuals.
But they literally said this before. Like everybody on the stage is vaccinated. Like so
I know,
again,
bro.
if we're trying to get back to normal here, why the fuck are you wearing masks? That's a false narrative. That is what you're fucking doing right there.
It is because not to get too far into this, but it is.
you guys are good.
Like I understand where if you're vaccinated, you want to wear a mask because you can still get it. You don't want to take it to anybody that you
Right.
know. But you're vaccinated for your own being.
Yeah.
But you're going to be around a bunch of other people that you don't know if they're vaccinated or not. At that event,
Every-
you already knew.
Yeah,
Every single
everybody.
person there was vaccinated. Why are you wearing a mask?
Right.
Like you're all vaccinated.
Like you said, it's personal preference. I get that, but
Yeah.
it just kind of seemed weird to me if everybody there is vaccinated.
It is.
Why are we wearing masks?
If you're
I
at
don't
an
get it.
event like that where you don't know if everybody's vaccinated,
Yeah,
and you
obviously.
are, obviously you're not going to get too sick if you get it, but you can still get sick and
Right,
you can still
yeah.
take it to somebody else that you
Right,
know.
absolutely.
So if you're around a bunch of people you don't know and you don't know if they're vaccinated or not, you want to wear a mask still, that's on you. No
Right.
matter what, if you want to wear a mask, it's on you. But at this event where you know every single person there is vaccinated, it's already been said, what the fuck are you doing?
It didn't make much sense to me, but
It
you know what it
didn't
is
to
what
me
it is.
either.
Another thing that doesn't make sense to me about the NFL draft, every pick should be 5 minutes. If you don't know who the fuck you're picking, then then
I do have one thing, and it follows along the lines of what you just said. And this was an idea I threw out to a couple of buddies while we were sitting there watching the draft this past week. You have months
exactly
that's building up to this.
Yep.
Why isn't it that 8 o'clock that Thursday, the Jaguars are on the stage making their pick?
Exactly.
They don't need 15 minutes
especially
or 10 minutes on the clock.
especially this year when everybody on the planet knew you were taking Trevor
And
Lawrence.
they still use the entire
I
10
know.
minutes.
That's the absurdity of it.
And
to
I was
me.
reading earlier, like every team used close to their 10 minutes,
Yep.
except Detroit. And Detroit got in trouble for it because they want you to extend that because
Of
they
course.
want the
TV.
commercial breaks.
Yep.
They want all of that stuff.
and that's why
See,
that's why it's 10
Yeah.
minutes, which is
That's exactly why the NFL and I was going to jump in here, but I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. But that's exactly why the NFL wants that.
Oh, I know why they do it.
Yeah,
Right.
The NFL wants that first night
Didn't
to
mean to yell.
extend. So why are you hollering?
So we in the studio. Why are you yelling?
It just frustrates me.
No, but that's exactly it. So that they make it. The NFL has made it to where the first round is one night,
Yeah.
second and third are another night, and then the other rounds are
yeah.
another. So they want that first night to stretch as far as it can, right? They want to stretch it out. If every team just makes their pick in the first 2 minutes, they're running into problems with commercials. They're running into problems with, well, now we're wrapping up at 10 o'clock when we want to wrap up at 11:30. And so they want that money. They want that revenue.
I think if you did it on a Saturday night like that, I think it'd be fine. But like it's a Thursday night, and this draft's going to like past midnight.
Yeah, they don't care.
I miss the all-day Sunday thing, to be honest with you. Like, I know money-wise this is the smarter way to do it.
It's prime time.
But
it makes sense.
starting at like noon on Sunday, going all the way through I fucking love that.
Right. It should be 5 minutes, but I know they're not going to do that because, like you said, the commercial breaks and all that shit and whatnot. But it's just,
Yeah, it's pretty much a mandate they put out there for teams.
Yeah.
Even if you know what you're doing, even if you've, other than making a trade,
yeah.
they'll announce that early. But if you know what you're doing, wait. We will make your pick right about the time that you're supposed to be up. Wait.
And from what Holmes said is he basically did not give a shit about their 10 minutes. He was picking Sewell before anybody else could possibly take him, even though nobody had the ability to take him.
Right? That's fair.
He's like, he felt to us we were taking him. I don't care about 10 minutes. I don't care about any of that. I'm just taking him.
They thought they might outpick themselves.
It's probably a good thing that they did that because they could have gone Lions right there and just been like, and overthought it and been like, no, let's take this guy instead.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of people going Lions, can I get a little bit of credit for calling that the Raiders were going to go full Raiders in that moment?
Raiders gonna Raiders.
The Raiders are one of the teams that got one of the worst draft grades for the entire
Shortly
weekend.
before that pick, you guys had said, "What do they do?" And I straight up told you, like, I don't know. I honestly don't have a good feeling about this. They could go Raiders.
And they did.
And they went
they
Raiders.
took like the 7th best tackle, but now they're going to move him over to guard. Which, again, I don't hate the pick, but why didn't you trade back into like the high second round and do it?
Well, and so the they had already gutted their entire offensive line this offseason. So you knew they needed a lineman, but why would you take like the 7th best lineman on your board or on most people's boards?
When 4 of them are still there.
Right. You could have gotten him in the 2nd round. You could have taken some other position to upgrade your team at that point. Now, I love the 2nd round pick they got.
The safety?
In Trevor Mooring, yeah. But when it comes down to it,
Who should have been their 1st round pick.
Right. Well, Trevor Mooring was a 1st round selection in most mock drafts.
Yeah.
So with your 2nd round pick, you got a 1st round draft grade with player.
Right.
But with your 1st round pick, you got a 2nd or 3rd round draft grade player with your 1st round pick. So that one just didn't make sense to me. There's other ones that we'll get into that didn't make sense. But yeah, talking about the Raiders there, they did go full Raiders on that one.
I'm gonna pull back on breaking down the entire Raiders draft at this point, but there was a lot of things that team did that I went, what's
I think the 5 people we have listening right now appreciate that.
so we don't go full Raiders.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's so looking at the 1st round. I mean, what were some surprises that you guys saw, and some good surprises and some bad surprises?
The biggest surprise to me was the Bengals not getting any protection for Joe Burrow and taking Jalen Waddle.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Jamar Chase?
Or Jamar Chase. Sorry, Jamar Chase.
Yep. Jamar Chase, yeah.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle went to Miami a pick later.
Which I think Miami was probably furious about.
Honestly, I don't think they were.
I don't either.
You think they would have gone Waddle either way?
I think they would have gone Chase if he was there, but I don't think they had those two graded too far away from each other.
Yeah.
And I believe they like the combination of Tua to Waddle again.
Okay.
I think they like the fact that Tua will be playing with a receiver that he's already played with. His biggest thing last year was not getting the ball downfield enough.
True.
It was yards per attempt. So I think Waddle will. I think they believe Waddle will help him extend that yards.
It's somebody you don't
per,
have to really learn how to
pass.
play with.
Right. So I mean, I think that works for them. I think they would have taken Chase if he was there, but in this case, I don't think they really dislike the pick.
Okay.
I think they liked the fact that he played with Tua before.
Yeah, that was my surprise. Like, especially when he was there, I'm like, you got to protect your, especially a guy that just got hurt.
I'm with you there. I'm mad at myself for when we did our mock draft.
Yeah.
I should have realized the Bengals were going to fully Bengal.
They went Bengals.
And
the Bengals bungled. What they'd fucking do. Yeah.
Because if you really think like how the Bengals would do things, they would select Jamar Chase there, not protect a quarterback who got hurt last year because the offensive line wasn't good.
Yeah, that's a move you make if you want to lose your job.
Yeah, listen, it could work out. I don't know, but if you can't protect your quarterback, he doesn't have any time to throw the ball to anybody, no matter who their receiver is. Yeah, which brings us to the Lions.
Yeah,
and selecting Penei Sewell. Smart pick. I text you guys at night and I said, listen, I hate giving this team credit, but
no, they had a good draft.
It was a great pick by them. He fell to them, and they didn't make the mistake that the Lions usually do in overthinking things or making the wrong pick. He was there, you take him. Plain and simple.
We saw some of the slapdicks after. Why didn't we get an impact receiver? Dude, that's not how you build your fucking team, idiot.
So,
and if you listen to anything that they said in the last few months, they told you exactly what they were going to do.
Right.
We're going big. Receivers aren't big.
No.
You know who is big? Offensive linemen and defensive linemen.
Right, exactly. You build from the trenches outward. That's how it works.
Which is smart for them to do. They're building the team the right way.
Yeah.
At least on the outside looking in, from what we can tell right now.
Right.
That was a smart pick by them. But my thing is, I want to ask Frank this because you're the only Lions fan in this room.
Yes.
And I'm on. We see a lot of Lions. Me and Chris are Lions haters, basically, but we see a lot of Lions.
No, not basically. We are.
Okay, well, we are. We hate the Lions.
I just wasn't going to get into an argument over it.
Not basically. We are. But we see and hear from a lot of Lions fans being in this area. And there's two Lions fans that I've heard from over this last weekend.
Okay.
Right? There's the Lions fan that is every pick the Lions made, they just... Oh, we got the second round defensive tackle. I could not tell you how many Lions fans went out there and go, "Oh, we got the best rated defensive tackle in the entire draft." And I go,
"Yeah, if it was the third round."
Did you hear about a player called Barmore out of Alabama.
Yeah, the guy who went like 3 picks prior.
Yeah, he wasn't the highest rated defensive tackle. Okay, first of all, and I don't know what board you're looking at. If you're looking at Freddie Freeman's board down the fucking road, maybe your friend had him rated as the highest rated defensive tackle, but in most pre-draft rankings, he wasn't. Lions fans like to pump up every single pick, like. The wide receiver that they took in what fucking round was it? It was like round.
I want to say the 6th round.
Round 5, round 6.
Looks like 6. Yeah.
They pumped him up like he was the next coming of Jerry
heard,
Rice.
I've heard decent things about the kid.
Right, but let's be realistic.
Hopefully, a 5th round, 6th round pick, whatever he is, he pans out to maybe like a 500 yards a season type of guy.
Let's be realistic. He was a 5th or 6th round pick. Now, do receivers in that range? Can you get guys that
Antonio Brown?
Listen, you can get guys that will outplay their draft position. But when it comes down to it, you don't just oversell every single pick that's made. And then not only did they do that, they wanted to squash all the players that they didn't take. They're like, oh, now I know why they didn't take that player because because he's not just not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it in the NFL. Bro, like why?
But if they had taken him, you'd have been all over his nuts.
And that's a really safe thing to say about anybody who's taken on the 3rd day of the fucking draft.
Right. So, but like every player that the Lions took with these certain fans was just the best pick in the entire world. They stole a player. They stole this player. It was a steal.
Yep.
The player's gonna be they're gonna be so great. And then every other player that got selected by other teams is like, oh, they're not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it.
The only steal that they had is Sewell.
Right,
and that wasn't really a steal. That was an incompetent team choosing before you.
I think Aleem McNeil is a great player that they got in the 3rd round. I love that guy.
Yeah, it's the D tackle that you had rated higher than the 2nd.
Yeah, when the 3rd round started, I literally said to you guys, I would be happy if Cleveland would get one of like 4 guys, and he was on there. And I think that pick is great. I don't understand their 2nd round pick, and I know you said that too.
I mean, if you look at initially what my knee-jerk reaction was, I sent you guys both a little puking face.
I do remember that.
Levi on whatever the fuck, however the fuck he spells it.
Listen, don't try to pronounce any of these names.
All I got to say is Dan Miller's going to quit his job.
Yeah, I'm looking at this draft class going, holy shit, dude.
I think it was Kerryon Johnson who had sent out a tweet. He's like, I can't pronounce any of my new teammates.
Right? Yeah.
Like, not one of them.
Dan Miller's going to quit. Yeah. Like, you guys are just making his life a living hell.
That's pretty...
But to get back to your question, there is a lot of picks that were decent at the time. And I'm not saying that they aren't now. You've got to look at the knee-jerk reaction from everybody. And Monday's the day that's going to happen. The draft was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We listened to it all day long. Monday is when the national media was going to break everything down. They did a fine job. The B+ A-, where I've kind of seen them flirting with. Some of them have had a B rating. Some of them have had an A rating. I understand that. But there's still areas that I looked at and said, okay, and Joe, you and I were just talking about this. JOK out of Notre Dame was available to them in the 2nd round.
Yep.
You're in desperate need of linebackers right now. I understand that you said you were going big, big, big. I understand that. I agree with that. But when a guy like that falls to you in the 2nd round and it's a position of need, that would have been a steal.
I agree with you there. Thank God they didn't because...
Yeah, your boys
got him.
The Brownies got him, and I love that.
And in all honesty, I was looking at a situation in the 1st round. Now, it would have been stupid, and I'm not saying it would have been the smartest thing for them to do, but to trade back up after you got Sewell, trade with Dallas at that point. Use your first pick for next year, or one of your 2 first picks for next year. Try to trade, and then get Parsons there. There you go. You've got 2 first-round guys, top 10 picks, both in a dire position of need.
And so the other Lions fan that I've heard from, and I'm sure you guys have heard this too, is the Lions fan that you referenced, Chris, is every pick was, oh my God, I can't believe we took him when we could have gotten this guy. Oh my God, I can't believe we took him when we could have gotten this guy. Oh, we're gonna be so bad now. Well, first of all, you're right on that because no matter how many picks you got this year, the team is not going to be good next year. Don't get that twisted. The people the Lions fans who really love the picks this year are now saying they're going to make it to the playoffs. Which you need to stop smoking the crack. They could have had picks 1 through 32 in the 1st round, and they wouldn't make it to the playoffs next year.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, I love how I got a bell on that one.
Yeah, right. That's solid.
I got that. Even my computer thinks I got that one right. they're not going to make the playoffs next year. They're not going to be that good. They're going to be. I think 5 games to me, 5 or 6 games is their ceiling, even with the good draft they had.
Yep.
And to assume that they're anything other than that, like, okay,
you're putting too much stock into the draft at that point.
History has shown you that's typically what this team is: 5, 6, 7 wins on a great season, maybe 500. But you've got a new coach, you've got a new quarterback, you've got a new draft class, you've got a bunch of free agents you just signed. What the fuck makes you think any of these guys off of the sheet of paper are going to pan out? You have no idea how any of them work together. They have no chemistry right now. They've not even touched a football at the same time on the same field.
Well,
That's Lions logic, though. Lions fans logic.
Right, and I guess what I'm saying is
cornbread, baby. Cornbread.
Right, like, so you
no, cornbread's better than the Lions.
the draft is. I think the draft was really good by the Lions. I think we all three agree on that.
Yeah, it was.
I think they did a really good
we
job.
could sit here and debate who would have been better at that spot, but that's
overall
part of the fun of what we do.
Yeah, I think overall we all agree they did a great job.
Yeah,
right. They did a bang up job in this year's draft. With that being said, you can question a couple picks here and there, but you also can't say they're going to make it to the fucking playoffs, and you also can't say, oh, they should have taken a wide receiver. They don't have anybody to throw the ball to. Well, listen, it doesn't matter who you're throwing the ball to if you can't keep your quarterback upright. So they did some of the smartest things I've ever seen them do, and they attacked the trenches, which is what you need to do to build a team.
You protected yours, and you risked other people's quarterbacks getting hurt.
Wide receiver comes last.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver is one of the positions that you don't need to draft unless you're in a position to compete already, and they are not. That's
and you didn't go cornerback with the top fucking 7 pick,
which is smart.
Yes.
To not do.
Which I would have loved to see him get like Patrick Surtain or whatever with the 7th pick. I would have. Oh my god, that'd have been the best.
Well, 2 teams in the top 10 did go cornerback, and that is Carolina Panthers after Detroit and Denver with taking Surtain.
Carolina went corner in the first round, and in the 7th round they drafted a long snapper. That is some really weird shit that you just don't normally do in a draft.
Yeah, they went corner. J.C. Horn, the local kid. That's one of the ones that I actually called right.
Right.
Which was a long shot to call right, honestly. And Lance going to San Fran. A lot of people didn't have that one. Chris, you and I did. I think this basically spells out with San Francisco that they're going to go with Jimmy Garoppolo this next year, or maybe even 2.
Yeah.
Like everybody who saw Trey Lance knows that. Listen, he's a great player that needs some work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So all the potential in the world is there. But this basically says Jimmy G's the guy this year,
right?
And maybe,
until he gets hurt,
and maybe even next year. Well,
which is going to happen.
And I believe a long shot here. I'm saying even if he gets hurt, Trey Lance won't see the field.
You don't think so?
It's a
I could
possibility.
see them. I don't know what their quarterback situation is offhand, but I could see them bringing in a veteran quarterback at that point. To start.
I could see them doing something like they did with Tua.
Beathard or Mullins. I don't know who's still on that team right now. I'd have to look and see what their depth chart looks like right now. But I could see them going with one of those guys just to fill the gap, because drafting Trey Lance, he's a little bit of a project.
Right.
He's got all the talent in the world.
Oh yeah.
But he played for a lower end school, and he needs some work. He needs to learn. And to me, this just spells out that Jimmy G's their guy for the next year or so, and they're gonna Trey Lance is there for when they move on from Jimmy G once his contract is up.
Like I said, I could see them doing like what Miami did with Tua a little bit. You know, maybe to actually get him some like legitimate
give him a few
game
snaps,
time. Yeah,
a few snaps here and there.
And if it's going bad, all right, go back to him.
And I might not love what Miami did with Tua this past season, but it's a smart thing to do.
I thought
you're not letting the kid go in and ruining his morale.
Right.
Letting the kid get hit, letting the kid get hurt. You're not doing that.
You're letting him see real action, like real, not mop up bullshit. This is like legit.
Is the possibilities there that he gets pretty fucked up?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a lot less likely when he's playing on 1 of 4 plays than if he's playing 4 of 4 plays.
Right.
Well, and it was a smart move for them this year because there wasn't much offseason. Right. So you couldn't really get him into the playbook. You really couldn't get him practicing as much as you'd like to. Rookies coming in have a learning curve already.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then when you don't have an offseason because you don't have OTAs, you don't have preseason because of COVID, I think it was smart for them to just kind of slowly bring him along, get him in there a little bit, kind of swap him in and out with Fitzpatrick. I do think that was a smart way to do it, other than I personally would have liked to have seen him sit the full year for those aforementioned reasons.
Fair enough.
But you know they didn't just throw him out there to the wolves and say, "Go make it or break it."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like they reeled him back in and was like, all right.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
let's not crush the kid's spirit here. You know,
They were a team that wasn't necessarily in a win now position.
and they competed significantly better than anybody thought they
And
would.
they did. But they also
better.
understood that they weren't going to win it all.
Oh no.
So when you're in that position, you have a young quarterback. Like, it really, I don't agree with it all the time, but in that position, it was the smartest thing they could have done.
No, I agree with that.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see how everything pans out.
Yep. And so the number 2 pick, though, Zach Wilson to the Jets. You and I, neither one of us are really a
I think
huge
this
Zach
kid's going to be
Wilson
an
fan.
incredible bust. I do.
Did you know this dude took 2 girls to prom?
No.
I just saw a picture. He took 2 chicks to prom.
I would like to take his mother to prom.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen her.
You haven't seen her?
No, I failed to mention that earlier when we discussed it, but
All right. So
I have not seen her yet. So
There's
I'm
a
going to
s-
go ahead and look that up while you guys
there's a
carry on
story.
this
There's a
conversation.
story circulating that Zach Wilson has gotten upset at the New York media. Which, listen,
Dude.
you just got drafted by the Jets. If you think you're upset with the New York media now, just wait.
Wait till you throw your first 5 interceptions.
Okay. So all I have done is type in Zach Wilson on
Yeah,
Google.
that's the first thing that pops up.
Zach Wilson's
Zach
mom?
Wilson just by itself
Right.
is the first.
Yeah.
Mom is 2.
Uh-huh.
Zach Wilson spelt wrong is 3.
All right.
Girlfriend is 4.
Ah.
And mom's age is 5.
Nice.
So I'm gonna throw a picture up here on our screen here, and these 4 pictures in a collage. That is Zach Wilson's mom.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's a smoke show.
Holy shit.
She is a smoke show. Hey, listen, kid, if you think people aren't gonna make comments about your mom,
Especially in New York.
in New York, and it's not like they were saying anything derogatory. They were just asking questions about how he felt about the fact that his mom was a MILF or his mom was so attractive or whatever. Man, you got to get used to that. You're in New York now. They're going to ask way worse questions than asking about how you feel about your hot mom.
This is a weird thing to compare it to, but she looks like what Jessica Simpson should have ended up looking like.
That's a good call.
Oh my God, you are right.
That's solid.
That is a perfect example of that.
That is a perfect example.
Like
Yeah.
if fame didn't take her the way it did,
Right, right.
and
Yes.
she would have
Okay.
became as hot as she should have been.
Yeah, I see it.
That's
She
a
would be
per-
Zach Wilson's mom.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, no
that is
doubt.
fantastic,
Yeah,
Frank.
that's a great comparison.
I
for
need to
sure.
know more.
Yeah.
Is she Mormon? Does she need another husband? What's the deal here?
Frank says I got 5 on it.
Hey, I'll be 7, 8, 9. I don't care.
Listen.
But yeah, like
Wow.
to your point, like if that is gonna irritate him that much, dude.
You got to get a thicker skin.
Oh,
bro.
100%. In
Wait
that
till
market,
wait
whoa.
till the first dude who sacks him and is going to get up. Imagine what he's going to say.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 Like, you know that I stopped playing football in high school, and I know the shit that people used
Oh,
to
yeah.
say to each other out there. So
Same thing
imagine
with-
being a grown ass man
Oh yeah. That's
and hitting a kid, and then being able to say whatever you want.
yeah.
You gotta know. Listen, if you're first of all, you need to know the media is gonna be worse on you in New York than anything
Oh,
else,
God,
right?
yeah.
So you have like you said, wait until you throw your first interception, or even worse, first 5 interceptions or whatever. They're gonna come at you.
Oh, absolutely.
It's New York.
like
so.
this isn't freaking Utah anymore,
Yeah,
bro.
listen, you gotta have thicker skin. Not to mention, at this point in your life, kid, you have to know that you have a very attractive mother.
Yep.
And things are gonna get said.
Yep.
You just gotta have a thicker skin. You know what I mean? Like, just get over it. They're asking how you feel about having such an attractive mom. Just say, yeah, she's attractive. Move on with it. Like, don't get upset. Or just ignore the question and move
Right.
on. Like, don't get upset with it. You're going to have a lot worse questions come
Oh
at
God,
you.
yeah.
A lot worse.
You know what I want to know now? Does he have a sister?
I don't know.
Because if that's how the mom looks,
go to the Google machine.
This show just derailed.
you guys carry on.
Oh jeez.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do though. I think he's going to be an incredible bust.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm torn because I do like what New York has done in the offseason with their front office, with their coaching staff. I'm not a Zach Wilson fan as you aren't either.
Nope.
I have questions about his mentality, especially now after this happens right away with you going to New York and the New York media, how they're going to treat you. I have his personality and his mentality were my questions, right? On the last show when we talked about the draft, I even said to you, I watched footage of him, right? And I saw that he can make all the throws. He can do everything he needs to do. It's not talent that I question. It's his mentality that I question. And now I question it even more.
Oh, absolutely.
After this comes out, and it's, I think he's got the setup behind him to succeed if he will just become a little mentally stronger to withstand that medium, withstand the pressure in New York. I think he could succeed because he's got the offensive system behind him that they're going to bring in. It's the Shanahan system that comes from San Francisco, that comes from Atlanta.
Right.
They're going to put him in areas, in ways to succeed. Can he do it? And it's kind of all on him. And I question at this point. I question his mentality at this point.
I do as well. I don't see it. Just.
And I'm throwing up the first round grades here, just so everybody can see on the screen. You know, and I'll go through them here. Trevor Lawrence got an A.
The Jaguars.
The Jaguars got an A for drafting Trevor Lawrence.
It's no disrespect to this quarterback class, but I'm not sold on any of these kids.
Like quarterbacks or just in general?
I'm just not sold.
I'm not either.
Of the 5 majors.
Yeah.
We're talking Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. Yeah. I'm not sold on any.
Neither am I. I'm not.
I can tell you the one I'm most sold on, and it's not now. It's in a year or so.
Oh yeah,
and Mac Jones, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Oh, okay. As I've told you guys all along,
well,
he was the one guy I was sold on all along. He was the guy in this draft for me at quarterback. Trevor Lawrence can succeed. Mm-hmm. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? God only knows. But
Justin
I don't think he's
got an A++.
Yeah.
Rating.
Yep. That's the one I don't get because I don't see him succeeding. But they gave Chicago an A++ rating for jumping up and drafting Justin Fields.
Have you guys had ESPN on, Fox on, well, Bally's on, or whatever the fuck it's called now? Like, have you listened to what they're saying about Fields? Obviously, with the Rodgers shit going on right now.
Oh, he's the best quarterback in the NFC North or whatever?
They're saying he could potentially be the best quarterback in the NFC
I did see
North.
that. I saw that in passing, and I'm just like, what?
No.
Wait, what?
And hot take, he very well may be the worst quarterback in the NFC North.
And I saw the Vikings were going to draft him.
Yeah, they were.
They were going to draft. They were absolutely going to draft him.
Yep, they were going to draft him, which is why they ended up trading out of that position. They ended up trading out of that position that they were in when it came down to their pick because they were going to draft Justin Fields.
I'd be much happier with Darrisaw than I would be Justin Fields.
Wait, you're not satisfied with Kirk Cousins?
They got Darrisaw after trading back,
right? That's what I'm saying,
and gaining extra picks. So I mean, I think they won in that scenario.
Yeah, no doubt. I would agree with that.
You've got Darrisaw and picks instead of what's going to
Fields.
amount to a 5-year quarterback.
So I think if I had to pick two on this, I would pick Trevor Lawrence because his talent alone, the kid hasn't. Listen, the first game he loses as a Jacksonville Jaguar will be the first regular season game he's ever lost.
The first, also, oddly enough, be the first one he plays in the NFL.
Very possibly. You know, it's. And then Trey Lance. Those are my two that I think will succeed above anybody else if I were to pick. The other ones have major question marks, and even the two I suggested have question marks. I mean, that's just the way this whole quarterback draft class has question marks all over the board.
Right, and that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, I'm not saying they're all going to be busts. Now, I've gone on record as saying Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust, and I'm not going to backtrack on that. I still am not sold on this kid being anything in Jacksonville.
Now, if he was drafted by another team, would you think differently? Or because that's one of your teams, you kind of have that mentality with it?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. It is partially because it's a Jaguars.
Okay.
The other thing that's playing into it with Lawrence specifically, I'm also not sold on Urban.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
Not in the NFL.
You have, and we'll go through both of their first round picks. I mean, Travis Etienne, they got a fucking F for.
They should have. I didn't understand that pick at all.
I understand it in the sense that
even though they're the big deal, are teammates. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's what I understood about it.
Yeah.
Was the fact that they're teammates. You don't have to develop chemistry. You don't have to do any of that. It's just there.
Right.
So,
and that's hard to have between a quarterback and a running back.
Right.
Part of these grades on some of these, though, so Najee Harris and Etienne. So Najee Harris got a D, Etienne got an F, right? Mm-hmm. So when it happened, we were talking back and forth, and I didn't like that pick, and I still don't, because Najee Harris, I get going to Pittsburgh. They needed a running back, even though they need an offensive line
Yeah, much more, yeah.
more drastic.
Yeah.
You'd been
right.
saying that was going to happen for like 4 picks before that.
I think
too.
everybody knew that was going to be the pick there.
Yeah. So, but with that, it's okay. You give a D on that pick because running backs you shouldn't be drafting in the first round anymore.
Not anymore.
Like, you just shouldn't.
They're a dime a dozen.
Right.
Yep.
And ATN for Jacksonville didn't make sense to me because you've got a guy like Rashad Bateman still on the board, which they need a wide receiver. They have other positions they need to fill.
Yep.
They have I always forget the kid's name who came out for them last year, the running back for
James Conner. No,
no, the running back
oh,
for the Jaguars.
Oh, for Jaguars.
Robinson.
Yeah. Sorry.
James Robinson.
James Robinson.
He came out of nowhere last year. He was undrafted. He played spectacularly for them last year. He's great out of the backfield catching the ball, and he can hit it up the middle. Like, he brings you everything you need as a running back. With drafting ATN there, I just didn't understand that, and I think that's one reason why they gave him an F. Not because of the player. I think he's a great player. I think he actually
he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, I mean, I think he actually might pan out to be a very, very good player in the NFL, but it's just so high to draft a running back anymore. You don't need to draft them that
And
high.
We were all three were talking about it last week in our show. Like this, correct me if I'm wrong too, but this is the guy that we all had pegged going to Buffalo.
Yeah, and then he comes out and said we never even remotely targeted a running back.
We're
They didn't even draft a running back in the entire draft.
Right, exactly.
But where we're all looking at it, Buffalo's like a running back and maybe a piece or two away from competing for a Super Bowl.
Right, but as you just said, running backs are a dime a dozen.
Right.
You did not need to draft one.
But even then, it's justifiable, is
it would've
what
been,
I'm saying,
like, later,
for a
yeah.
team like Buffalo to
Right.
take them because you're only a piece or two away from competing for the Super Bowl.
What they did is exactly what they needed to do. They needed to get guys that can get after the fucking quarterback. That's what they did.
And the first 2 round picks for Buffalo to me are perfect.
Yep.
Buffalo, I would have given a better grade if they drafted ATN. Right, I would have given them a B plus
Over Russo?
Yes, I would have because to me, drafting a running back in the first round for them makes more sense than some of these other teams. If you're 1 or 2 pieces away and running back is one of those pieces, then you draft a guy like ATN in the
Yeah,
first
it makes
round.
total fucking sense.
You know what I mean? Like if you failed on drafting Singletary in the second round, you failed on drafting Zach Moss in the second round. So in this point, if they were to draft ATN, I would have given them a good grade drafting ATN in the first round because they're basically a running back and a pass rush away from winning a Super Bowl. They're that close, right? So they went with their first 2 picks. I do love their first 2 picks. Rousseau, I wanted Rousseau on Cleveland, and Basham is a great second round pick. I think they addressed one of their specific needs, and like you said, Chris, they were basically flat out go get the fucking quarterback.
Yep.
They drafted these 2 guys
because you
and
saw it
said,
in that
"Go get
AFC
the
Championship
quarterback."
game.
Oh yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
to me that was a bigger need than drafting a running back in that position. Now,
And having somebody there available like that, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
That's the way you should go.
Should they maybe have drafted one later on in the draft? I would have been fine with it, but I'm not like mad that they didn't because especially with these cap casualties coming, which are going to happen. Okay,
they can possibly get somebody worthwhile,
right?
Or maybe they believe that either Singletary or Moss can still be the guy,
and you can upgrade your offensive line too, which I do believe they still need to do a little tweaking, which obviously they did in the draft. They got some offensive linemen as well,
right?
And the other thing we don't know, and I mean not that it means anything, but listening to ESPN for the last couple of days, Josh Allen also might just like one of them. They could have just gone to him and been like, what do you think of your running back situation? Do you think we need to grab one? And he could be happy as shit with one of the 2 guys he's got and just say, fuck it, no.
Yeah, maybe he just
use it on something else.
Like, I mean, they with obviously their picks, they went D-line, then offensive line.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
cool.
You know,
I'm cool with that.
Maybe what a team like Green Bay should.
Like we talked about too. You know, you build your team from the trenches out, and yeah, you're right on the cusp of possibly winning a Super Bowl, and that's great. So now you just added depth to your lines, and you got guys that can hopefully get to the pass, get to the fucking quarterback, which is awesome.
Listen, if only one of those 2 guys pans out, it's great picks for them.
Yeah.
Both of those guys were 2 of the top pass rushers in that draft, and this was a draft that was packed with pass rushers, right?
Yeah, it was.
So there wasn't anybody at the top of the draft that really stood out as like the main guy, like for example, like a Chase Young, right? But it was filled with those second tier pass rushers, a lot of them, and there was a lot of pass rushers in this draft that can be not quite a Chase Young, not quite a J.J. Watt, but could be near that level, and Buffalo got 2 of them.
Yep,
and I love that about that draft for them.
And
absolutely,
I mean, not to correct you or anything, but these are also like we're going off of their potential,
right?
Their potential
It could
to be like any one of these guys could actually be.
It could exceed
one of
that,
those.
yeah.
They could be.
Yeah.
We're just trying to keep the expectations low on them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's you're going based off of their pre-draft rankings and their grades and all that stuff. I mean, guys come out of nowhere all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like
there's
you draft a guy you hope for above average with him. That doesn't, Penny Sewell. They're talking this dude's a Hall of Famer already.
Okay.
Other coaches have used that term.
Oh,
to
is that right?
describe- Yeah.
Jesus, all right.
So if that's his ceiling, great.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I hope he's 3/4 of it though.
Right. I wouldn't complain about that.
Yeah. One thing I want to bring up is looking at some of these preseason grades. So there's a whole list here of there's 18 draft experts that graded every team on the whole draft, right? And looking at this, it was the Chicago Bears graded out as the top team overall.
Really?
GPA graded out as the top team.
All right.
At 3.99. The second team out of all 18,
The Browns.
the Browns. The Browns, baby. And I don't necessarily agree with the Chicago Bears.
Neither do I.
I think teams are way higher on fields than
Yep.
than any of us are. But I love it. I love looking at this and just seeing the change that the Browns have had.
Right.
I can actually talk about them on the level of
Wow,
of teams like Buffalo, who had a great draft, and the Chargers had another great draft too. I love the draft they had.
Yep.
When I look at it, so Newsome with the first round pick with them, that's a great pick.
And they obviously their secondary was atrocious.
Well, it was. So they have Greedy Williams, who's come back from a nasty shoulder injury,
Right.
and obviously that shows how nasty the shoulder injury was. That they drafted another corner. They in free agency they picked up Troy Hill at corner, and I'm looking at this, and at first when they at second round they took Joker out of Notre Dame.
Yep.
I used your anagram or whatever the fuck you call it, the JOK, just
JOK.
because
yeah.
I wasn't about to try to pronounce this dude's name.
Owusu Koromoa.
Jeremiah
Yep, him.
Owusu Koromoa.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I've been trying for 3 years to figure out how to pronounce it, and I'm still not even going to bother.
So they took Joker out of Notre Dame.
I think a name like that would turn me off to being a Notre Dame
Right?
fan. I'd be like, no, I'm good, dude.
I can't pronounce your name. Man.
Fuck
I
you,
just
I'm
can't.
out.
So they stole him in the second round, in my opinion, and it was because it came out
To go almost
halfway
through the second round?
Yeah.
like
Well,
that's a great steal.
You had like a heart condition.
Yeah,
right?
and when we were talking
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
I said I'm really interested to see why he fell. There had to have been a reason.
Yeah.
And it came out that he had a heart issue that was discovered very late in
Yep.
the draft process. He was medically cleared, but it just kind of turned some teams off to him.
course.
So when he fell to the point he did, Cleveland traded up to get him and said, "Listen, this is the point in time where we're safe taking him."
Yeah.
And I love that pick for them. The third round pick is the one that I didn't like so much. But after I looked into it a little bit, I'm okay with it.
The wide receiver.
Yeah, the wide receiver Schwartz. One, he's the fastest player in this draft. The fastest player in this entire draft, which I'm okay with. If they want
I
to,
should have taken him then.
if they want to stretch the field, that makes sense. And also, I was upset that they didn't take another D lineman or an edge rusher. But looking at their team afterwards, they want to run a base 4-2-5.
No.
So they're not looking to run a base 4-3 or a 3-4.
Right.
They want to run only 2 linebackers on the field, along with 4 D linemen and 5 backs. So looking at the way they drafted, makes sense.
Right.
Joker out of Notre Dame is a very versatile, speedy guy who can get side to side. Then
Yeah, and they said numerous times also while they were waiting for him to get picked, they don't know if he's going to be an edge or if he's going to end up playing linebacker.
he could play. He's linebacker. He can play on the edge. He actually lined up at safety sometimes on
and
Notre
when
Dame.
you're running a system like they are, players that are versatile make absolutely perfect
Yeah,
sense.
and so looking at what they're going to run, I actually like their draft more than I did the day of the draft when I saw the picks. Newsome's a great pick at that point.
Great
He
pick.
was projected to go before that. Joker they stole in the second round. I love that. And then the wide receiver, if they stretch the field, Chris, you were on board with that one when they first took him, and I was like, I don't know. Looking at it, listen, it makes sense. If he can stretch the field a little bit and just be the deep threat and get out there and get some deep balls, I love that for them. And looking at what they're looking at running, I do like their draft a little more sitting back and kind of observing it and looking at it now. I'm pretty happy about it. So
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
we'll see, man. You know,
will see.
It needs to happen. You can't. You're just right now. We're just looking at stuff on paper
Exactly.
and players on paper. But
we know how that plays out.
boy, do we ever.
Yes, we do.
All right.
Oh yeah, you look at half this draft on paper and it looks fucking stellar. I can guarantee you those same half of those teams are
Right.
not going to love it in about 15 weeks.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And so one other thing that's kind of stole the weekend was Aaron Rodgers news.
Yeah. Yeah.
That he.
How do you fuck this up if you're Green Bay?
Yeah. So the news came out that basically he will not go back to play for Green Bay unless they fire the GM.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're going to do.
I saw this morning that he had informed them he still probably wouldn't come back. Like he just wants out at this point.
Wow. So I with them, I don't know what you're going to do, but that's just somebody might hit the jackpot.
In all honesty, what they should have done is taken San Francisco's fucking offer on draft day.
Or even Denver's offer. Denver offered him a huge package too.
I didn't see what Denver's
it
was, but when you have the number 3 pick,
I get it.
Yeah, like
Yeah, Denver offered him a pretty good package too. Like that one that kind of rivaled. Right? Yeah, exactly. One that rivaled San Francisco's.
Denver's package rivaled San Francisco's.
Hit it. There you go.
I was too busy laughing at the other one. I was too busy laughing at the first one I played.
I was trying to hold back laughing so you could play it again.
But
it's a good thing we're not rated on.
But for them to,
production quality.
right. But for them to turn both offers down was kind of, at this point it turns out to be kind of silly.
Well, especially when you drafted his replacement last year. You drafted Jordan Love to replace Aaron Rodgers eventually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is telling you that time is now. Trade him and move on.
Yep.
Now, had you not done that, the time probably wouldn't have been now.
Right.
But you did what you wanted to do, and it's time to now let this kid try to succeed and let Rodgers go on and probably win a Super Bowl somewhere else.
Or fail in the NFC Championship game.
Or that.
Or the AFC Championship game, depending on which conference he goes to.
I tell you what, it's just funny to me that Tom Brady goes to the NFC for 1 year, and Drew Brees retires, and Aaron Rodgers is like, I refuse to play there anymore. Like one fucking season of Tom Brady in the NFC, and they're just like, you know what? No, we're good. We're good.
Now, obviously, in this situation, I want to make a hell of a pitch for the Vegas Raiders to be the trade destination for this man. But the one thing I will say, and it's not about the Raiders, the people who keep begging for Denver to go and get him.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're thinking. You're thinking along the same lines that you did with Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Your defense is not the same defense it
No,
was then.
you had one of the best defenses.
I'm not saying that you can't compete with Aaron Rodgers. I'm saying your defense isn't what it was then.
Mm-hmm.
You are not a surefire team to go walk
Basically,
into a Super Bowl
basically,
at that
it'd be going
point.
to a situation just like in Green Bay. It'd be damn near the same situation, except
Well-
with the altitude.
Right.
Well, Denver has a little bit better defense than Green Bay.
Right. I say
And
similar.
Well, I know.
Not
I'm
the same,
I'm just
similar.
I'm just analyzing it. Denver has a little bit better defense, but their offensive weapons are better than Green Bay.
I know that.
Yeah.
This fucking meme.
So
I said a very
is that what you-
similar situation.
Yeah, no, it is, and I'm just analyzing it a little bit deeper. I'm agreeing with you. I think Denver has a little bit better chance than Green Bay, but it is a very similar situation. I think Denver has a few more weapons on offense.
Neither one of those teams is going to be a lock to walk into
of them-
a fucking Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, well, Denver doesn't have the type of weapon like Adams is. So Devontae Adams is top 3 receiver in the league.
Yep.
Denver doesn't have that, but they have a pretty damn good tight end in Noah Fant. They have Cortland Sutton. They have Jerry Jeudy. They have some weapons on that team that Aaron Rodgers could take advantage of.
Right.
It's
who-
it's really funny to me that they didn't take that offer in Green Bay.
And before I say what I'm about to say, salary cap is the reason you're not hearing about what I'm about to say. And there's not a dire need for it. But I don't understand why a team like Atlanta doesn't try to go get him. Clear out some of that salary cap. Find a way to fit him in under it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a shot at going to a Super Bowl with that type of team.
What do you do with Matt Ryan?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, do you trade Matt Ryan?
Open the window,
in
let
that-
him jump.
Fair enough.
Wow.
All right then. That
escalated.
Frank chose violence today.
That escalated quickly.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter what you do with him. Let him walk, trade him, do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's earned the right to go out the way that he wants to.
Right.
If you're Atlanta, call him up, be like, you know what? this is what's best for our team. We're going to put ourselves in position to win. If you want to stay on as a backup, we'd love to have you here.
That's an expensive backup.
That's an expensive backup.
Yes,
but at
it
the
is.
same time, would you rather have that money on your roster or sitting in dead cap money?
Yeah. I think if I were them, if I were to make that trade, I would have to include Matt Ryan in that trade.
Yeah.
That
You
would be
hope
the way
so.
I would have to do it.
But
Maybe
again,
you can trade him with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
I don't want Matt Ryan. If we're trading for anybody, I'd prefer Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's fair and all, but I'm saying if say in your scenario, Aaron Rodgers goes to Atlanta, so they obviously would.
I'll keep Derek Carr.
Really over Matt Ryan. All right.
For no other reason than Carr's like 5 to 7 years younger.
Okay. I disagree with you. But
Doesn't
all
mean
right.
he's any better. He's
Yeah.
just 5 to 7 years younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I would tend to disagree on this one too. I would take.
I would take Matt Ryan.
Although I don't think
I'm comfortable.
I don't
with
think
Carr.
I don't think the Raiders are anywhere near winning anything.
No, they're
so
not.
having a better quarterback right now doesn't do them any good.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Especially with that kind of money.
All right, I'm just saying in this
Right.
scenario.
In this scenario,
But you are also a very good quarterback away from being something. Not good, but something.
So a better quarterback in Matt Ryan, you would not take.
I don't think he's a better quarterback.
Okay.
I think that's a lateral move from Carr to Ryan.
All right then.
So this whole time we've been talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Matt Ryan. I've had this meme up that
Yeah, it's good. It's awesome.
Aaron Rodgers looks like he's at the Kentucky Derby to arrest Tom Brady.
He does.
And it is perfect
Yeah.
because Aaron Rodgers looks like he's trying to star in the next Miami Vice movie.
Yep.
And Tom Brady looks like the evil villain in Roger Rabbit.
He does. Absolutely.
Like what was the look he was going for?
I don't know, man.
Did either of you guys see the pictures of the groups each one of these gentlemen were with?
I saw the one
Yes.
with Rodgers. Yes.
Okay, so you saw Rodgers and he was with AJ Hawk
Yeah.
and his girl.
I didn't
and
see the
Miles
Brady
Teller
one.
was there with them.
Yeah.
Brady goes with the same crew every year. He's with Julian.
Mm-hmm.
He's with Gronk. If you could pick going to that event with one of those two groups of people, who would you go with?
Oh man.
I honestly, I picked Brady's group just because Gronk's in it.
I was going to say, you go with Brady and Gronk, you're not walking out of it.
No,
I would go with Brady and Gronk too because I think that group would be more fun.
that's exactly why I would
Yeah,
go
but
that route.
Then I look at the other side with Aaron Rodgers and his fiance is an actress.
I don't care.
so-
She seems boring.
Yeah, but she's probably got hot friends.
He's with Giselle, man.
And
Giselle's got model friends, bro.
fair point.
Ding ding.
And actually, Camille Kostick, who's
Yeah,
Gronk's fiance.
so we got double model
Okay.
friends. What the fuck are we doing here?
Ding.
No, I said
ding.
go open the window, let him jump.
No, Frank. No, I think I'd take Brady's group.
Yeah.
Every day of the week on that one.
I was just thinking about it when you brought that up, and I was like, that's two epic fucking party groups right there.
One more funny thing from the draft that I want to bring up. I have a visual for this too. I'm going to bring this up on the screen. Was I texted this to you boys during the draft?
You're very
It
good
was-
with the visual stuff.
Yeah, it
You
was.
should be a teacher.
Yeah, it was definitely not. That's a big hell no. No way.
No.
No. I don't think anybody else on this planet would agree with you on that one. Not a
I
single
say a lot
soul.
of things that nobody on this planet
Listen,
would agree with me on.
I know my mother loves me to death, and even she would disagree on that one.
Yes, this.
It's the truth. So I text you guys this picture, and I thought I saw this at one point in time during the draft, and that was Roger Goodell painting
Yeah.
on the wall of Sean McVay's house or apartment,
yeah,
wherever he was
yeah.
drafting from.
That was the thing.
And so I Googled it, and sure enough, it was.
Mm-hmm.
I like, did I see that? Yes, I did.
So this is a real thing. This
is a-
isn't like
oh,
he
this-
just put it there because the cameras
Like
were there.
it's. I mean, he might have, but it's a real painting on the wall behind where he was drafting from, and it's a portrait painting of Roger Goodell.
Yep.
Now I don't know what the history is behind this. I don't know whether he did it as a joke or what, but
And the
I'm very
frame it's in
intrigued.
is like fucking gorgeous frame.
it's funny as hell either way to me to think about whether it was a serious thing or a joke. Either way, I'm laughing my ass off. It just I couldn't stop laughing when I thought I saw it and I looked it up on Google. I'm like, he really did fucking have a portrait.
The only
of-
thing that would have been better is if that it would have that portrait and then put the clown
With the
nose.
clown nose.
The clown nose
That's
would have been
yep.
fucking glorious.
The only reason I don't think this is I think this is staged There's nothing on that fucking wall.
No, it's literally just
There's
that.
nothing.
It's just that.
It's just
And that would be a really great spot for like the picture that would kind of bring the room together to be in, and not that picture to be fucking in. So I feel like he may have just taken whatever it was off of there and
put that
been
there.
like,
I'll put this here.
we'll put Goodell right there.
I also love the fact that when we were texting back and forth about this. I also love the fact that when we were texting back and forth about this.
He does.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed. It's a guarantee.
I said to you, oh, let me see this. What did I say? I said, I don't know whether it's serious or a joke or not, but if it's serious, it's really fucking weird and creepy. And if it's a joke, it's hilarious. And you said
I had said shortly before you said that.
Right. Shortly before I said that, you said McVay swallows.
Yep.
So I just thought we were going back and forth about the the Goodell picture and everything. And I said, well, if it's serious, it's creepy and strange, and if it's a joke, it's hilarious.
100% thought you were talking about what I had said.
And you
fucking 100,000% thought you were talking about what I had just said.
Your response to me, I go, if it's a joke, it's hilarious. If it's serious, it's weird and creepy. You go, how would I know this, Joe? Of course it's a joke. Bro, I wasn't talking about your comment. I was talking about the picture.
In that moment in time, I was like, how the fuck would I know?
I love how you thought I was talking about your comment about how McVay swallows.
There's sometimes we say shit on there and it just goes, and we end up in some fucking weird places with conversations. And
that's true.
I laughed so hard.
I thought you were like genuinely like, do you know this for a fact,
dude? I laughed so hard just thinking about you sitting there going, well, how the fuck would I know?
Well, I was enjoying myself a little bit at that point. And I felt it was very appropriate.
I'm not going to tell you what I thought, because what I thought is 100% correct. But yes, I'm sitting there laughing to myself.
I will tell you, I was still on the planet, but I was up there.
Yeah. Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
So that
was somewhere in the clouds.
That confirms my thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's pretty evident.
Yeah.
Here goes Frank again. He's fucking high.
That's
baked.
So I wasn't going to call you out, but since you did it yourself, yes, that's exactly what I said to myself.
It's fucking legal, man. I don't
No,
care.
listen, I know, but I didn't know how you felt about that. So listen, you called yourself out. I'm going to say it. I literally laughed so hard at that, thinking that he is so fucking stoned out of his mind right now. He has no idea what we're talking about.
And I think that's
the funny thing was, like I said, like I wasn't that bad, but I was on my way there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty evident.
Like if the entire thing was a trip to Florida, we were like Kentucky at that point.
Fair enough.
This conversation makes that even better now.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you about that either.
No, I know, but I wasn't gonna call you out on the air. But since you did it anyway, that's exactly what I thought. I go, holy shit, he is high.
It was like half serious, half a joke. But I was like, if this is serious, this is fucking money. But this is probably a joke.
Right.
Oh my God.
But if it's not,
It's fun. Right.
Oh,
You know what else?
God,
What
yeah.
is a joke though?
what?
The Detroit Tigers.
Yes, they are.
oh,
They're the laughing stock of the.
that was
ugly.
not the segue I thought we were in
No.
the market
I've
for.
learned not to answer his segues. I just let him go.
No, that is a.
I
fucking
refuse
joke
to
at
answer
this
the
point.
segues.
The Detroit Tigers, specifically Chris Ilitch and Al Avila, are an absolute disaster. And both of them, and however you want to direct your anger, whether it be at Avila only or Ilitch only or whatever, do it. Honestly, both of them deserve blame.
I was gonna
Period.
say, at this point, it's organizational.
Exactly.
failure.
It's organizational at this fucking point. Chris Ilitch, you're running this organization into the fucking ground, man. Like, sell this fucking team. Honestly, sell the Red Wings too. Like, you have no intention of building winners with either of these fucking teams.
And the Wings are in a perfect fucking spot. To
And
sell
it's honestly, the fans fucking deserve better. You know what? Fuck you, Chris Ilitch, and fuck you, Al Avila. That's all I gotta say about it. Because honestly, what else is there to say?
No, so I was gonna let you go there.
I got nothing else.
I
Fuck
agree
both
with
of
you.
them.
I agree with you. It's pretty pathetic at this point what the Tigers have on their team and in their farm system for how many players you traded away, for how many big name players you traded away, and what you have in your cupboards right now. The cupboards are bare.
Yeah.
You have a team that's batting 195.
Watching their at bats it's mind-boggling how bad they are.
It's so fucking bad. You have a team that's batting 195, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. What bats do they have coming up in the minor leagues?
This is where we could use like a cricket
I
sound.
know. I can actually hear crickets outside the window right now. They don't.
No?
They don't have any bats coming up. You've got Torkelson and Green, which are your best hope for bats coming through your farm system, and they're both about 2 years away at this point.
Right, and like we talked about, I think it was last week. We talked about the free agent class that's coming up after this season, and that's all well and good, but I think it's been proven now that Chris Ilitch, he's not going to spend money on this fucking team.
Nope,
he's not.
Nope.
He doesn't, because he doesn't want to spend fucking money, dude. The dude's was worth almost $7 billion fucking dollars, and they just invested into a fucking casino in Jersey. So if he comes out and says, "Oh, we lost money, we don't have the money because of COVID, because of this," fuck off, man. You absolutely have the fucking money. You just don't want to fucking spend it, you fucking piece of shit.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
No.
Does it? You feel better?
I do.
Yeah.
I do actually.
Yeah. It is infuriating to watch this team and know that. Listen to the guys that they traded. They traded Scherzer. They traded Verlander. They traded JD. Like you look at all
Traded David Price.
Traded David Price. Like and that was actually Dombrowski's trade. But
Right.
you look at all these guys they've traded, and what do they have to show for it? What prospects did you get that have panned out? Fucking none.
No.
Who have you gotten from the Dominican? Who have you gotten from Cuba? What foreign players have you gotten? Where are the players that we can look at and say there's a bright future here?
Right.
There are none. And Akil Baddoo? Whoa.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. Where's the fucking Akil Baddoo back?
That died down real quick. Didn't
Where's
it?
the Akil Baddoo backers right now? Because I just want to throw this one out there for you. He's batting 203, folks.
Yep.
And don't get
Better
me
than
wrong.
the team average.
It's better than team average.
Also, if you're a beat writer for this fucking team and you hold their water and you just want to be their puppet, fuck you too.
Well, and those
Chris McCoskey, fuck you too.
Yeah, Chris McCoskey, motherfucker.
You fucking fat piece of shit.
You really are angry about this.
Well, that guy especially, because this is what this fucking clown does. He fucking defends the Tigers to a fucking T. He actually blocked me on Twitter. He blocked our page on Twitter. 'Cause
Really?
I called him on it one day.
Really?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. He blocked me.
Oh, well, fuck you, Chris McCoskey.
Because he said something and I called him on it. I'm like, why do you write this way? Like, why are you a puppet for this fucking team? And he fucking blocked me for it. So
Because you call him a puppet for the team?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what every beat writer is.
Sadly, that's become the case.
It has been.
It's become the
100%.
case.
It's sick.
It's become the case where, but again, it's like the rest of the media that we talk about. The media is not really the media, and in one of our favorite shows, Frank, it delves into this. But the media has become not the media. They don't report news to you anymore, and they're not unbiased at all anywhere. No matter where you look, your news, whether it's sports or anything
where
else,
their dollar comes from.
Exactly. They're biased to where their dollar comes from. Period. That's it. They only care about where their dollar comes from, whether it's sports or other media. That's it. And it's sad. They don't just report.
Nope, I agree with you.
They shill.
That's the perfect word.
They
yes,
shill.
They're shills. Yes, 100%.
And I just have to say this again. I just want to throw this out there because we were talking about the Akil Baddoo thing and about who was he Chris Shelton? Was he was he one of those players? And of course, it turns out he was. He wasn't even a full month, right? Since April 15th, he's 4 for 42. Oh,
wow, it looks like pitchers have figured out where to pitch him.
4 for 42.
Weird.
He's got 2 ribbies
out
of those 4 hits, 25 strikeouts.
Good Lord.
25 strikeouts since April 15th.
Here's the only regret I have in that situation if I am a Tigers employee. The fact that we didn't have jerseys out in the fucking store the day he took the field. You know how many of those things you would have sold for that kid if you had them available in the first couple of games?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. As a big Tigers fan, I hate seeing it. And yeah, I knew there was gonna be some rough times, after they, finally gutted the teams that were actually good, and I understood that, and that's fine, But now you're not even like, what is this fucking team? You're not even building toward anything.
Well, see, now,
you're just there.
That's the problem I have with it is if you had a competent GM,
yes,
this team would be showing signs.
Right.
And have players.
They would have a pulse.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, exactly. they would be showing signs of improvement and having players coming up through the ranks. Like I said, the only two players we can really look at and count on now, other than pitchers, are Green and Torkelson, who are like 2 years away.
And it's been 5 fucking years of this.
Yes. So as a GM, what have you done? And the only players that you can take credit for that are any good and possibly gonna be any good are the ones that you couldn't have missed on in the first place.
Right.
So I could go out there and make first round picks if I had the first overall pick all the time. Who couldn't?
Right.
Like, show me where you've made a pick and developed a talent and found a talent that nobody else did.
Right.
It doesn't exist on this team. It doesn't exist in this franchise.
That's like a few years ago when the Cubs, because they used to spend big all the time, and then they said, they finally said, fuck it. We're gutting this motherfucker. We're tearing it down, and we're going to draft. We're going to build through the draft and sign players when needed.
Yep.
And took them to the World Series, and they finally won it in 2016. And through those years
with mostly draft picks.
With mostly draft picks, absolutely. And through those lean years, I was fine with it because they were fucking building towards something. They were actually drafting properly and developing fucking talent. This fucking organization does not develop fucking talent, and I'm fucking sick of it. Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm just not as passionate about it right now.
Fair enough.
I do agree. I absolutely agree with you. Are you?
Just making sure there's no cops coming.
No, listen. You are more of a baseball guy than I think either one of us in this room are, which is why you're very, very passionate about this. And I agree with you. I'm wholeheartedly with you here.
This organization is my grind my gears for today.
Well, this organization hasn't developed talent in years. Nope. So you look at the years that they came close to winning the World Series. Who was it with? Was it with players they developed?
Nope. Maybe Verlander, that was about it.
It was with
that's it.
A few players that they developed in the Marlins roster.
Yeah.
So Verlander is one.
Yeah.
And in what was it, 06, maybe you throw Zumaya in there.
Maybe, yeah.
But like other than that, what came through their coffers that they brought up?
Not a whole lot.
Not much. It was all free agents and guys they signed.
Yep.
Oh wait, I got one guy. Donnie Kelly.
Oh, DKB. Oh, Brandon Inge. There you go.
Oh, Brandon Inge too.
Brandon Inge.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was the what was he? He was in the home run derby.
Oh yeah, didn't hit any. Good job. I'm not sure what's going on here.
I don't know either. Since he shaved that beard, it's all weird now. I can't tell what he's thinking.
I'm sorry. I wasn't gonna talk about those guys, and that doesn't count. I just was.
What about Ramon Santiago?
You hit me with Donnie Kelly and fucking Brandon Inge, and I was just out. I checked out mentally.
I don't blame you. I really don't.
Yeah, it's a long running thing with this with this team, with this organization. They don't develop players.
They don't. And if you're not going to develop players, and then you have an owner who doesn't want to spend fucking money, you're in the position you're in now.
But the other problem they're having, like, they don't grow this talent, and the talent that they can't grow can't be traded for people who know what the fuck they're doing anymore.
Yeah.
So now we're just at this point where we don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's sad, and it's incredibly infuriating.
We have Miguel Cabrera, who might hit 500 home runs by like
July.
Week.
I think July
12 of fucking 27.
Right.
You know what's also infuriating?
What's that?
Going from dealership to dealership looking for a car.
All right.
So, are you tired of going from dealership to dealership looking for an automobile?
No, I got one like 6 months ago.
Yeah? Well, for the people who didn't,
fair enough.
Get in touch with Land & Sea Motorsports. They specialize in finding you the car, truck, or boat that you're in the market for. At Land & Sea Motorsports, tell them the type of vehicle and the features you want that will fit your budget. They also offer shrink wrapping and winterization for all boats and jet skis. If your boat or vehicle need any repairs or cleaning, they offer a full detail division as well. So give them a call at 586-484-9798 or visit their website at landandseamotorsports.com. That's landandseamotorsports.com.
Have you basically just taken that away from Frank?
Well,
that time, literally.
That time I did. I'm looking at the time, and I just realized we needed to read it. And instead of like making a big deal about trying to like point it out, I just grabbed it and
I
tried
was curious.
I'm sitting like this, and all of a sudden I just feel
just like I read it better than Frank. Fuck him.
I mean, I can't read good. I know that.
I can't read good.
I can't read.
I don't even count. I can't read good.
All right then.
So anyway, this week we have a Grind My Gears, which we didn't have last week because we did the whole draft.
Yeah.
A Palooza. So this week we have a not a Grind My Gears, Cameo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Cameo.
Yeah. Do you want to do a Grind My Gears?
No, that was Grind My Gears.
Oh, that was your Grind My Gears. All right.
Couldn't tell.
All right. Frank, do you have a Grind My Gears this week or no?
No.
Okay, we're gonna skip past that. And
what?
I have one, but since you already did yours, I don't want to do mine. Well, I'll throw mine
There's
in next
nothing
week.
that I am frustrated about in the world that can match the passion that Chris just had.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I couldn't live up to that. So we'll do the Cameo, and this is a name that Chris threw out in the text, and I thought when he threw it out there, I said I have to go look at these cameos.
Can I say though?
Yeah.
He threw this out in the text, and I looked at it and I went, "What? Whatever." I didn't think it was a real thing.
I saw it on social media. And I'm like, that actually could be fucking funny. I'll throw it out there, see, whatever. And
when Joe said he actually found
and
one,
here
I
we
was
are.
like, "Holy shit, this dude's really on there."
Yeah,
here we are.
I thought it was just him telling me that he's on there and I should look at it, so I did. And sure enough,
do we know the price for a cameo from him?
$20.
Oh,
$20.
I know I'm getting Frank for his birthday.
There's so many things I could say right now, but I don't want to ruin it.
That's fair.
I'll chip in on that.
All right.
I'm in on that.
I'm glad I'm worth so much that you guys could split
$10
$20.
All right, we'll throw it to. We'll make it 25. Call it a day.
Yeah.
You can give him a tip too.
So
He tell you 10 minutes.
Oh God! All right, I'm not gonna even.
Nope.
Not gonna.
Just hit play again.
I'm just gonna play this.
Hi, Savannah. This is William Hung. I'm sorry to hear that you've been feeling down lately, but I would say, whatever your dreams are, don't give up and keep chasing, because things will get better when you focus on happy thoughts. Here is a song to cheer you on. And just do it! Be what you want to be. Do what you want to do. Be true yourself and just do it! Be what you want to be. Do what you want to do, because it's all up to you.
This is gonna be the best birthday fucking present ever.
I'm sorry that was so loud at first. I don't know what the hell happened with that one, but that just blew my eardrum.
Yeah,
out.
it did. It was a bit much.
Oh my God!
What was that?
Oh,
That's funny.
I just hurt myself.
All right then.
Do what you want to do. Be what you want
Seriously,
to be.
this is gonna be the best birthday present ever.
Hey,
I
for
can't
real,
wait.
I want that next week as our outro song.
Do what you want to do.
Maybe it won't get banned in what countries? Does
I don't know.
It get banned in?
Yeah, we are banned in a few countries for some reason.
Yep.
About to be banned in a few more.
Jesus.
All right, so I think that's going to be the end of the show this week,
Yeah,
guys.
probably yeah.
So give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube.
Just go to the fucking outro.
You can find all your podcasts on your
Do what you want to do.
You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out our website, sotdet.com, and be what you want to be. Thank you to everyone for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no!
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.